Hello out there in the realms of the internet. Welcome to the Patreon plug before the episode. That is right. Elliot and I have now put together a Patreon for Side Quest Studios. This is the banner that covers all our shows, Thrones of Game, Simpsons Index, and Pulp Fury Radio. If you want to support us and the work we do, please check it out. Go to patreon.com/sidequeststudios. All right, enough of a plug. Let's do Thrones of Game. Hello out there, you horn-blowing cunts. Welcome to Thrones of Game. This is the Game of Thrones podcast where we watch the series backwards. If you've never heard the show before, well, let me explain my profanity there, friend. My name is B.T. Calloway. I've already seen the entire show. And joining me as always is the man who had never watched a single episode of Game of Thrones until we started watching in reverse order. Elliot, how you doing?
Yay, Season 7! Woo!
Yeah, Season 7 where I've made subtle changes to the introduction and I can't even remember what I said anymore. Yes, we just watched So our Season 7 is this Season 2, Episode 10, entitled Valar Morghulis. Valar Morghulis.
Oh, I was going to prep a coin for that. Ting!
Yeah.
Flip.
If it's in Apple Loops, well, I'll chuck it in.
I thought my little improvised foley was pretty good.
It was one bad, yeah.
Ting! Flip.
Especially the sound of flipping.
Yeah,
I do like it when all of life is onomatopoeic.
Yeah.
Yep. So Elliot Jay O'Neill, what just happened?
Well,
Yeah, okay. I had some fun with this one. There's a lot of episode in this episode.
I felt like the
beginning... it's an hour and 5, so...
Oh, I thought it felt long.
It does also, do the Lord of the Rings thing and end 4 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought the beginning was very good. The middle was a snooze fest, and then it kind of came together at the end, but I do have some questions.
That's fair, because this is the culmination of a lot of bits and pieces. So for those of you playing at home, I'm just trying to find the biggest moments. I suppose Dany gets her dragons back from the Warlocks, which was a big, kind of bit people kind of made fun of for being a little bit weird and silly. Tyrion wakes up from the Battle of Blackwater Bay. Jon stabs a dude to win the trust of the wildlings. Stuff.
Yeah.
But Elliot Jay O'Neill, what was your MVP on this one?
Really?
LVP, if you want the least valuable part.
There were a few moments of bad acting in this, I thought.
Yeah.
Especially Red Queen and Stannis. I thought that was not only did the dialogue feel like passions, their delivery felt like passions, but also the lighting, it was done in that very shit flame.
That very soft focus. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It felt daytime soap opera as fuck.
And considering that your best dialogue here is the Red Woman's galaxy brain nonsense.
Yeah.
It's, she's trying, Clarice Van Houten is doing the most she can with what she's got there, but it's not a lot. It's all, but I still see you in flames, oh Lord, you'll be the king, I promise. There's even a line where she's got, which is like, I guarantee you'll be king. It's like, shh, bitch, not even close.
Yeah, but even then, there was I felt like there was a bit missing because he goes from choking her and her being like, and then immediately she's like, oh, it's always the way, and her voice is fucking perfect. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, a little bit of crack would have been because she just got choked and is not resisting. So he's all like, I'm choking you. Where's your God now? And she's all like, my God is in you. And
yeah.
Sorry for those of you at home making the jerk-off motion.
It should be explained inherently with the fart sound.
Yeah, which is weird. Those things really don't go together, but whatever.
Not at all.
And yet, that's what we do.
If they do, there's something very wrong. Or if you're into that, very right. As long as you're not hurting anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
I will go, okay, here's an interesting one. The most improved player who went from being an easy loser of the episode. Is that what we call him? Isn't there something less harsh we should call them? They're not the loser.
The least valuable part is what I use.
That sounds way more nice. All right, it went from
because they're still valuable. They're just the least valuable.
Yeah. Is Theon. His performance, I thought, was originally shitty, and then when he was giving the rousing speech, I was like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, this is one I really like because he is being a total annoying brat, and that's where our profanity at the beginning comes from. He's, sitting there trying to just lord over this manor, which is clearly failing. They say he's got 20 men left, and there are 500 Northmen surrounding him outside.
Yeah.
And they're blowing this horn constantly, and it's getting on his nerves. And he's frazzled and tired. He's acting really, I can do this. I'm stronger. I'm, and all bratty and shit. But that's what he's meant to be doing. He's meant to be this guy who has lost by every metric and is just refusing to believe it, and is just insistent that he's still got a chance.
Yeah, yeah. And so, it gave me the little bit of backstory for the Blackwater Knights, who I'd later see get flayed.
Yep. Yep.
Poor little dudes.
Yeah, they tried. I mean, they do have a good bit where he's giving this rousing speech about, they say one Ironborn man's worth 12 Northmen. Well, I'm going to have to give them 20 and kill them all, and they'll sing songs about us, and they'll name their children after us, and women will moan when they think of our names when their husbands are inside them, and it's all... And I do he waits to the end, and someone goes, smacks him in the back of the head and goes...
A total tonk.
Yeah, didn't want to interrupt. It was a good speech.
Yeah. But in terms of acting, I didn't think he was doing a good job when he was in the room and being frazzled and all that, and having a chat with senior Carl Baron.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maester Carl Baron.
Maester Carl.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. This was an episode of ups and downs for me. I
think I'd give him a good acting medal because he's I appreciate he's acting bratty. There's even a bit where Maester Carl is all I know you grew up in this castle and I've been here the whole time. I know this isn't who you're being. And he's like, I don't know who else to be anymore because I've pretty much ruined everything else. So I've got to be this Theon. It's a good little moment. It's that recognition of, I know I'm being a douchebag brat right now, but I've literally got no other option.
Yeah. It's interesting seeing the run of this character and, when he's not acting like a completely tortured person with severe PTSD and zero dick.
Yeah, now you get to see a dick-possessing Theon. Yay?
And just talking about they're coming over here to fuck us. Well, I haven't had a good fucking week, and I can't wait for one. And it's like, oh, dude. Oh, man.
It's like you can hear the score in his own head.
Yeah.
It's like it sounds like Braveheart up there, but everyone else is like, it's not a great lead-in, but sure. You know what? Everyone give him one of those, well, we all rah in sequence and raise our weapons. Let's do that. He's earned it. He's really trying, guys. Yeah, I agree. But I think being a brat was, the angle he needed to take on that one. And also, his rousing speech begins with, we die today. It's like, ooh, bad lead-in, dude. You put that at the end where it's like, we'll be brave and gallant and maybe they'll kill one of us and maybe they'll even kill all of us. But, wait, what did you say about all of us? When the people are too invested in the yes to really catch what you're saying anymore.
That's what sort of made it so much more funnier, him getting donked up the back of the head.
Yeah.
Because I was like, really? Are these people going for... Oh, they are absolutely not.
Yeah, but I think that rousing speech rides the line of someone who's doing their best and then it completely not working.
Yeah.
Also, when he's, sitting there and this horn keeps interrupting him when he's talking, and then he has this long, monologue and the score begins to soar up. I really wanted the horn to interrupt the score. So the score's all, na, 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 rah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
You're also flat, you cunt.
Yes.
What about you? What was your most valuable player in this one?
All right. I like Sansa getting to be happy for about 9 seconds.
That was nice.
Yeah. This is the part where, there's a whole big... Okay, actually, I'm going to start from the top of this entire sequence because it's pretty important. So it starts with horse shit. Just a scene of a horse shitting. And Tywin Lannister rides in on a horse up to the Iron Throne and gets named Hand of the King and just stays on his horse and then leaves on his horse.
Yeah.
It's like... That's a power move, dude. It's a little too obvious a power move for Tywin, who's usually a bit more subtle about these things. He's just like, I will ride in on a horse and I will not get off and I will force the king to see a horse's ass as I leave.
And I will make the king starve clean up its shit.
Yes, exactly. I mean, again, he's usually a more subtle man than this, but all right.
Excrement.
Yeah, sure. And then, he gives Littlefinger Harrenhal and Littlefinger's all Littlefinger's about. I don't know, there wasn't too much on that. I said it as a note. And then he's all, Loras comes forth and says, I'll give you anything. He's like, I'll marry my sister Marjorie. And Marjorie has this line of, I've heard many stories of your great courage and wisdom and they've taken root deep inside me.
Yeah.
Which I think is our first example of Vag talk. What's this? It's that. It's Vag talk.
Zip.
Yeah, where the vagina is being used as a metaphor, as we do like our cock talk. So, I'm going to give it to this. Good.
And then senile old Maester comes along. Oh, it's okay. The gods would not approve of the other woman for this reason, and so I think it's fine.
And then everyone's like, it's fine, just marry the hot one.
Yeah.
And the court agrees, and I swear for a second they're all like, Jerry. He's all like, but I can't marry Tyrell. I'm proposed to Sansa. That whole bit. Just for a second, I swear that was happening. But yeah, my point is, then my MVP is Sansa has to walk away and is like, oh my gosh, I don't have to marry this guy anymore. Thank God. And just has this moment of actually laughing and being happy. And then Littlefinger rocks up to him and goes, hey, before you get too happy, it's been literally 9 seconds. I counted. And just so you know, you being engaged to him was the only thing protecting you, and you don't have that anymore. So sucks to be you yet again, Sansa.
But I'll protect you.
Yes, I'll protect you. I'll take you back home.
In his weird Littlefinger accent, which is in any accent.
Yeah, it's a lot of things and nothing all at once. Yes, either that or there's a little bit of a MVP where, it's a lot of mess of notes here. I'm trying to read what I'm actually talking about.
Sure.
Oh, there's a bit where, so Tyrion wakes up from being attacked. He's got this scar across his face. It's still bandaged and everything.
It looks so wildly different from the last time we saw it. Oh my God, where's the continuity in this show? Nah.
Who are we? Us. But yeah, then Shay comes in and, she's all like, we could run away together. And he's like, no, I need to stay here. I do belong here. These are bad people, and out-talking them and outsmarting them is what I'm good at. And it's like, it's a good little moment of him realizing he's got nothing else in the world but to be, a fairly large piece in this game. Yeah. Despite the fact that he doesn't like it.
No, absolutely. And, we talked about this in the previous couple of episodes where, Tyrion, like, being afraid of the life he doesn't know,
Yeah, despite hating the life he does know, is far more afraid of the life he doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. He'd rather be rich here than, potentially poor somewhere else, yeah.
I mean, almost certainly poor somewhere else. You don't get rich easily in this one.
Yeah, that's true. And also, as he points out, he's a little short.
Oh, yep.
I'm not happy with myself for doing that.
Well, it also starts off with Maester Pycelle, aka Maester Old Guy, let's face it. He's just Maester Old Guy. Coming in, he has the whole speech of, it's a smaller chambers, but you don't need much room. He actually looks way younger in this one, I thought. So I think maybe later
everyone does.
True, but I think maybe later they start to age him up a little bit to be a bit more doddering old fool, whereas here he's just kind of old. So maybe they're playing that up for levity, or I don't know. But yeah, a lot of people...
In later seasons, his balls brush up against his calves.
Yeah.
What did he say last time?
It was knee last time. Or maybe it was ankles last time. I don't even know. Look, just try and get that image out of your head as we continue on to nudity. Oh, there's a little bit. There was a little bit of Roz, who's at this point working for Littlefinger, covering up a black eye. I think we'll see that next episode. Varys walks in and she tries to seduce him, and he's like, no. And then she kind of reaches for his crotch. She's like, oh, wait, I know you.
And he just does that very Varys face for C. I don't know. That dude has really good facial expressions.
I know. I love Varys. This reverse watch has really made me appreciate Varys way more. And I liked him on the forward watch. But it does, and I hate to say this pun, but it does make me very sad they nuded him later on.
Hey.
He just didn't get as much to do and was nowhere near as interesting in the last few seasons, whereas in these ones, he's great. He's just, you never quite know what he's doing, but at the same time, you know he's doing something good, and yeah, he's a great character. I really like Varys. But I don't get okay, if you're describing Varys to someone, and you're just so she knows to keep an eye out for him, you wouldn't lead him with, oh yeah, he has no dick, and that's the only information you give. It's like, look, he's bald and he talks a little bit up here like this, and he's always very proper and usually keeps his hands folded in a robe like that. You would know Varys when you saw him.
Yeah, is he one of the guys with short hair and armor? No, him.
Yeah, that guy. So I don't know how the hell Roz doesn't actually know this guy, but whatever. But they have a nice little back and forth, and yes. As I wrote down, despite being a eunuch, Varys fucks. So, good character. Really like him. That was all the nudity we have. So, we just skip on straight down the line to violence. There was some great violence in this one.
Yeah, like I said, this episode was bookended with some good moments. They just happened to be violent.
Yep, absolutely. Well, it just starts off with Brienne and Jim Jam walking along, and
So good.
this whole part was great. So they come across 3 women who have been hung up, and they have a sign, "They lay with lions" on them. So presumably the Stark soldiers have killed some local prostitutes or just local women who happen to sleep with
the lion is the sigil.
House Stark is the wolf, then this Lannister would have been the lion. So that these women had laid with Lannister troops.
All right, so they're not like fucking what's his name, Giantsbane. They're not actually into bestiality.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, as far as bestiality goes, lion is definitely on the riskier
It's
end.
bold, yeah. I mean, so's a bear, if Tormund's to be believed.
Kind of believe him.
We just want to. At the same time, I don't want to. Yeah. But yeah, there's a whole bit, she wants to cut them down and give them a proper burial, and he's like, "Stop wasting your time." And then, they hear someone coming, so Brienne gets ready, and they kind of prepare this lie. And I like that Jim Jam leads into the lie. He knows that these are Stark men. They'll kill him if they find out it's actually Jim Jam Lannister. And he's all like, "Oh, I didn't stole a pig, I did. Whoop, she's taken me back to my punishment." But no, he does a much better job at acting than I just did.
Yeah.
And then Brienne of Tarth is getting laughed at, and has this moment of just, "If you're quite fit," and they're still laughing. He's like,
Because, she's just gotten it from Jamie as well. "Oh, you virgin? You have a fuck, dude? Fucking's great. You'd probably love it, eh?"
You bet you wish someone had just gone, "Oh, yeah, bet you wish."
Not as good as a wink to a blown bat.
Yeah, pretty much. But then I do like the flip on the dime of them starting to work together when they do have this mutual interest of not exposing Jim Jam Lannister. And then, just to make sure we're okay with these Stark soldiers dying, one of them, Brienne of Tarth, is like, "Did you at least kill these women quickly?" And like, "Oh, yeah, we killed 2 of them quickly. The third one, ooh." Just so we feel okay when, one of them recognizes Jim Jam, and then Brienne just has this whole thing of, "All right, I'm going to ask you the same question at the same time, and I want both of you to answer on 3. What's his name?" Now, ready? 1. Remember, it's on 3, not 3, then answer, okay? 1, and she just stabs them. Stabs 2 of them and leaves one of them. And it's just like, oh, 2 quick deaths, wasn't it? And then just skewers him with a sword. It's like, whoo! Brienne, bam, fate brutality.
Yeah, I loved the choreography of that bit. I don't know if I'm as into the choice to not show the knife going into the stomach, doing it I think there is some certain artistic merit in doing it, just showing Bree and his faces.
Yeah, no, I would take that personally.
Yeah, but I think I would have liked a wider shot on that one.
Maybe, but I like keeping it out of frame.
Yeah.
Like there's something that leaves it to the imagination. I imagine she was going scrotum up. So maybe it was in the stomach like you think. Maybe it was cock talk first. I don't know.
Sure.
But we don't know. And that's, I think, the most savage we ever see Brienne. But who knows? Maybe she's a bit more brutal in these past episodes.
Oh, definitely. And the fire that she has in the face when she wants to is so intense. It's just like immediately I turn into Podrick around her.
Hey, we see Podrick here. I see he gets more baby cheeked.
Doesn't
somehow.
He just? No, it's remarkable. This is one of the hugest jumps in noticeable age difference that I've seen for pretty much all the characters across the board, especially Arya, who sounds 9 here.
Yeah, this is the ones where you could really agree she could pass as a 9-year-old boy.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And we meet Faceless Guy then as well.
Yeah, whatever his name is, the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all like, "Oh, I'm going to be mystical now. You can come learn mystical things." And she's like, "No, I need to find my brother and mother. I've heard they're going to a lovely wedding." And she's like, and he's like, "Well, if that doesn't work for some reason, take this coin and give it to someone in Bravos, blah, blah, blah." And then 2 seasons later, that happens.
And I thought that was all the way at the start of season 5.
Maybe it is. I can't remember.
Yeah. I remember the 5 hanging around the Faceless dude a lot and getting annoyed at his shit.
Yeah, but I think that was 4 that she gives the guy the coin.
Yeah.
End of 4. Beginning of 5 is when she's there. Yes. But that's, who else is incredibly young in this one? I don't know.
Oh, fucking itty bitty Olbrand.
Oh, yeah. Olbrand and Rickon, who's tiny.
Yeah. Oh.
And the only adult in this entire place.
Yeah. That was one of the scenes that I liked as well, where they were saying goodbye to Maester Carl Baron.
Yeah, for a scene we don't really have a lot of context for, really well done, and it got me in the feels. I was going to ask, how's the heart of this episode? Because do you feel any of the bumps? And yeah, I really did. Like, he has this whole speech of, looking at the two boys and being like, I brought you into this world and I've seen you almost every day since, and I consider my life blessed for that.
Fucking
like,
aw.
Dude, Maester Carl Baron, come on. Yeah, and I even like then his follow-up of, they all leave and then... the only adult I can't remember the name of is all like, I'll bring you milk of the pub. He's like, I don't want that, and kind of gestures towards her knife. And he's like, trust me, you're the only one that can laugh at all those boys now. You're also going to be the only adult in that group for a little bit. Now stab me in their neck.
And good luck with those ones, those little hellraisers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a question, is milk of the poppies like opium?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, painkiller. Much like this universe, milk of the poppy will get you stoned. Yeah, can be used like morphine, or if you refine it, can be used as opium.
Wow. They're asking me what I would like with my coffee. Almond milk, oat milk that they have now.
Milk of the poppy.
Do you have any milk poppy? Scratch, scratch, scratch.
Just joke. Wow, that'd be an upper and a downer at the same time. It's going to be a weird, but you'll probably just be fine.
Yeah.
I feel completely normal. Scratch, scratch, scratch.
But I need more.
Lots more. Yep. Well, man, let's see. What else? Oh, yeah, and violence. Oh, yeah, of course. After we have the mercy kill of the old guy, we have Dan Brady, who's been pulled into a literal Dungeons and Dragons situation. I wrote down Dungeons and Danny's, but I was not thrilled with it.
Dungeons.
Yeah.
Sorry, just to jump back to that other point quickly. Yes, I contrasting from the Bree scene, I do like the choice here not to show that death. It's just... Yeah. You see them walking on the hill as the next smash cut, and I'm like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's a mercy kill. You don't need to see the gory details of that. And it's then mercy for the audience, I suppose, not to see this very sweet old man die.
And yeah, that makes sense. Totally into it. What I'm not so into is the dragon's very obvious color difference. Now, I know it's probably better for the eye to help to differentiate the three dragons, but... who are they? Huey, Dewey, and fucking Louie? Like, it
is a little weird. They've got such vibrant, distinct coloration differences, especially that it doesn't ever really matter.
Yeah.
Like if two were green and one was red, okay. But it's like there's the green one and the black one and the red one. Which is your favorite?
They're not Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, or fucking Mortal Kombat ninjas. They're dragons. Like, just have them slightly different shades of mossy green. It's fine.
Yeah, if you really need to make one distinct, if you really, really need, and then the rest kind of don't matter. It's not awful, but it is, especially now we so rarely, later on they get so big, you don't really see all three on camera at the same time. But here it's, pretty, collect them all kind of.
But it does make it seem that much more cartoony and a bit less believable to me. And especially if we're going to go with, because... I hadn't really noticed it before, and we've seen the dragons as in every other scene now, and to me it gives the one that turns White Walker that much more distinction, it being a different color.
Yeah.
That's more horrific to me. That starting out like this, I can see why they changed it, or at least toned it down in later episodes.
Yeah, tone the shades down. Here they do look a little bit like plastic figures.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when I wrote that note for that, I'd never thought about it before, but Huey, Dewey, and Louie are all spelt different even though they rhyme. Yeah.
Well, English language, it's fuck stupid.
It's bad. It's a bad language. How we got this far is a fucking miracle.
Yeah, through a lot of wacky circumstances. It's why we invented the sitcom. They never had it in any other language until we came up with awkward situations.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Gave a purpose to homonyms.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we're able to have one guy at a dinner where he's dating two different women, but they don't know he's dating and they have to keep moving. Yeah, it was homonyms.
Well, actually, I remember one time my dad was really pissed at me because he asked me to run into the supermarket and grab some mints. And so I bought Jilla and PK and shit.
Yep.
Yeah. You're a dull boy, Elliot.
It's a pun, father, and they'll be my defining feature growing old, as well as a beard and tie-dye shirts.
He's like, haha, where's the beef? And I'm like, I get that reference, and none of that happened. Never mind.
Wait, none of it?
Oh, no, the mints, definitely. That bit definitely happened.
I feel like, the listener at home wanted to know that for sure.
Yeah.
So now they know. Yeah, so there's kind of a cool bit where they kind of walk up to this tower, Dan Brady, Captain Friendzone, and some guy who's just there.
Mm-hmm.
And they do this thing where she runs around the tower looking for a door, and Captain Friendzone is chasing behind her and loses sight for a second, and then she's gone. And she's inside the tower. It works. It's a good bit. But yeah, she just kind of wanders around for a little bit and then goes through a door, and it was a very Simpsons moment of, one of these doors leads to your dragons, the other have man-eating tigers. Yep. But then goes through and sees visions of the Iron Throne with snow, in quotation marks, falling from the sky and snow resting on the Iron Throne. And a lot of people, and then she reaches the Iron Throne and doesn't touch it, and a lot of people are like, oh, that's a clue to the end. To be entirely fair, this was a clever bit to season 8, and I don't get to say that often, where it wasn't snow, it was ashes falling down on the Iron Throne.
Right, yeah.
That was cool. However, the Foley for her footsteps, that's snow. That's the sound of stepping in snow, not the sound of stepping on ashes. Foley has lied to us for the last time.
Yeah. And in this bit as well, she faces off against the skinny dude in purple. Did he remind you of that dude from Dungeons and Dragons, the movie?
Little bit.
Yeah. That was my only note. Like, have I seen this guy before?
No, you've not. But here's kind of the dumb thing. Okay, so he's a warlock, and he has a quick explanation of the return of her dragons is returning their magic to them, and the dragons are strongest in the presence of Dan Brady.
Right.
So they plan to keep Dan Brady chained up with her dragons to keep them strong, so the dragons keep the warlock strong. And then later on in the, next/previous episode where we have that weird girl with the bad teeth try to throw a Pokeball at Dan Brady.
Oh, yeah.
That's meant to be the warlock sending an assassin after. That is the last time they try. That is the last time they show up ever in the series. One failed assassination attempt, and they're just gone for the next 6 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh yeah, they totally dropped that plotline. I completely forgot.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Yep. But yeah, she's standing there and this is our point of violence finally, as she just goes Dracarys, and all the dragons like, wah! Oh, we know that word.
Yeah.
Fire. And the warlock's like, no, why did I ever think dragons could be dangerous?
She does her own poking move as well. 3 dragons use fireballs.
Yeah, it's super effective. Yeah, it is also just a dumb point of, oh yeah, I put the woman who knows how to control these things in the same room as these things and just stood in front of them like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This scene played is very stupid to me.
I think that's why people kind of made fun of it a little bit on the internet. It's just, yeah, you didn't think this one through, did you? Did you, warlock guy? I mean, to be fair, even the smartest of us make dumb mistakes sometimes, but this is a very Bond villain escape,
Well, I'll say this is even like a very Power Rangers-y sort of bit in the episode where, oh, there's multiple of me. You can't escape me. Oh, I'm on fire now. Like, I don't know. It felt dumb. I hated it.
Yeah, it was like, our powers grow stronger, especially now that you're here. No, fire did it.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
So, you didn't have a plan for being on fire. Again, you're around fire-bringing dragons. Did it not occur to you to have a bucket of water? Stupid frickin' warlock.
No, because that makes him melt.
Yeah, that's pretty much Wizard of Oz, where it's like, why did you even have that bucket of water hanging around if you're that vulnerable? Hey. So yeah, people are idiots, and yeah, that's about all I got here.
Yep, sure.
All right, let's see. Memorable quotes. I've already mentioned Marjorie Tyrell talking about her vagina.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, and I've already talked about Tyrion talking about being good at this. That was all my memorable quotes I wrote down. I think we just have to just rapid fire our notes. Sorry, quick fire.
Yeah, I'm almost there. Like, surprisingly, for a longer episode, I had very few notes for this one.
Well, I was trying to pace mine out, because it ended 4 times, I actually had to go to my 3rd page of notes because I was like, okay, and we're done. Oh, we're not done. I burned some space there. There's a bit where the Red Lady and Stannis are staring into the fire when I got another Simpsons flashback of, that fire's too violent. Yeah, we talked about Theon being a brat, blah, 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 blah. I do like Shay's line of when she first sees Tyrion, it's just like, you're a mess.
Yeah.
It's like, yep, fair.
Well, at least she's honest, Yeah.
Next time someone's in hospital, I'm like, how are you? You're a mess, my God.
It's just like, that makes me feel worse, but I appreciate your honesty.
I'm quoting a thing. Have you seen Game of Thrones? No? Okay.
We'll watch that and then check out my podcast.
yeah, Dan Brady, House of Ghosts and Warlocks, whatever. But yeah, one failed assassination mission. I'm stunned how lazy those stupid Warlocks are. All they have to do is be set on fire once and send one assassin, and they're like, oh, this is too hard. We quit.
She's thinned out our numbers too much.
Yeah, by killing one of us. Yeah.
And that was our last Pokeball. That was our last shot.
Okay, man, Pokeballs are probably pretty rare.
Yeah.
We once again have Arya, Hot Pie, and that guy walking around, Gendry Baratheon, but I just like Arya, Hot Pie, and that guy. It's kind of like a, two guys, a girl, in a pizza place kind of title
totally.
to it. Yep, coin, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, and Faceless Man says the episode title, Valar Morghulis.
Hey, you said it. Roll credits.
Yep.
So did anyone in the last episode say Valar Daharis?
Not that I remember.
I feel like one of us would have caught it if they did.
I mean, probably. But we do talk a lot of shit.
I got another note for violence on Jon Snow. I don't think we talked about that.
No, we didn't. Let's go to that one.
Is that on the third page of notes?
The mysterious third page, yeah.
The rarely used third page of notes.
So yeah, John's all like, they're walking and Ingrid's kind of bopping him in the head with his own sword.
So funny.
He does a pretty good bit where he just ducks and weaves and is like, yeah, I'm letting you hit me in the head here.
Yeah.
So I like that. It was a good little bit, showing he has a degree of control even when being arrested. Lord of Bones is still funny.
I was just waiting for him as well after the dude had died. It's like, burn the body. And does anyone want the bones? Anybody?
No,
I call dibs on the bones.
Kind of my thing, the bones. I mean, this mask is beginning to crack a little bit. I'm the Lord of Bones.
I don't think I could fit in his skull. I don't need the skull.
Like and anyone who keeps calling me Q-Bone, shut up. It's different. Yeah. Just, okay, everything's Pokemon now. Wow.
Yep.
We've gone from everything is Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which I did have a note of that, and I can't remember where it is anymore. We'll come back to it. Oh, no, there it is. Sorry, when the old maester was dying, he's like, oh, and they're like, oh, you're hurt, you're dying. Oh, I feel fine. But he says it in a kind of croaky voice. It's very close to, I feel happy.
I've got a lot of Tis But a Flesh Wound vibes.
Yeah. So yeah, everything's Holy Grail and Simpsons, and now apparently Pokemon. I didn't see that one coming, but here you go.
Pokey of Mon.
Yep. So then...
What house do you represent? Rocket.
Wow, so that's like your what are they called?
I profess my allegiance to Professor Oak.
Yeah, Bolton's a Team Rocket. And
definitely.
Yeah, you know what? We can mesh this.
Just flaying a Pikachu.
Ooh, that's awful. Well, that ruined that for me.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the silliness of this incredibly serious show, where, the guy they're marching with picks a fight with John, is like, your father was a bastard and your mother was a whore, and also you need to kill me so they'll trust you. Oh, yeah, come at me. But I do like all the wildlings, like, oh, shit, yeah, fight.
Yeah.
So that was delightful. I think I just stole all the thunder of that bit. Do you have any notes? Because you said, I want to talk about this, and I feel like I kind of jumped all over that.
That's about it. It was another one of these sort of big lumbering sword fights, and yeah, like you said, the hidden shit going on there. It was part of the episode that I was starting to enjoy the episode again, and it was much needed after the whole silliness of the damn Brady crap. But yeah, I agree it did, like... and yeah, just to bring it back to fucking Dan Brady, it's probably spoilers for later episodes asking what was the point of...
Backshadowing spoilers with the tent with the Khal Drogo and the kid.
Yeah.
Yep, that was Khal Drogo, her previous husband.
I meant sort of more locking the people in the cage, but I guess I'll get context for that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Khal Drogo scene was another one that I thought was just over dramatic and boring.
Yeah, like almost Days of Our Lives-y, if it wasn't in a different language, I guess.
Yeah, but even then, that made it feel even more so.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's this really bit, there's a bit that I almost yelled at the beginning of this episode as my introduction to everybody, where she's all like, am I dreaming? And he's like, well, maybe I'm dreaming. And then it goes on to say, but questions like that are for weak men with skinny arms. And I'm like, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then she's got a line at the end that says something like, oh, I'll love you until the sun rises in the west and the mountains crumble like leaves and the rivers run dry, or until I see John Bum Shovy's bum. Ooh. Yeah, it's like, forgot about him real quick, didn't you? I mean, I guess it was years in real time, but still.
Yeah.
Just saying, a lot of fancy words, but as soon as someone with a nice John Bum comes around, you forget it all. Yeah, and then there's that some guy and that girl, and they open up a vault, and the vault's empty. I vaguely remember the significance of this, but something. And then they get sealed inside, and it's like, well, that's kind of a terrible death. So, yeah, Dan Brady, always been a cruel bitch.
Yeah, because I think that's one of the things, you judge how good you are by the mercy you show your enemies or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if that's why I felt it was particularly cruel, it would have just been like, just stab them in their bed if they were that awful.
Yeah, just kill them, and that'll be that. We're locking them in a vault to either suffocate or starve.
I sometimes just don't know what the show wants me to think about Dan Brady.
She's meant to be powerful and getting revenge and stuff. But yeah, revenge, like you said, how you treat your enemies is a big stance of how you are as a person. Like you compare this to, Rob, who someone's wronged him later, and he's the one that swings the sword and executes the dude. And there's something to be said about doing it himself. And yeah, he regretted it, but it was also, well, he gave the sentence himself, he swung the sword himself, he wore the burden, he did everything on his own, and it was quick. Or at least as quick as you can kill someone.
Yeah. But I feel like the show is a bit more clear about, good guys, bad guys, and complicated figures. And, it always feels like they're presenting Dan Brady as the hero, but her actions sort of seem to speak otherwise.
Yeah, well, these earlier episodes, she is a little bit more grey. I did speak a few episodes when she first gets the Unsullied is marching this massive army off, and there's a much more ominous tone to the music.
Yeah.
That's less, oh, she's a hero and she's got her own army now, and a lot more, oh, here's another major player into this game of deceit and murder, which really, really, really makes me wish they'd played her a bit more grey for the rest of the series instead of being, oh, she's so wonderful, and no, actually, she's evil.
Yeah.
If she'd been a little more ambiguous all the way along, it wouldn't have been such a shock when she just turned violent and killed everybody.
Absolutely.
Amongst the many other problems of Season 8, but whatever. But just in that last scene where they're stealing everything from this guy's house. There's two Dothraki in the background carrying what looks like a peacock statue made of glass, and it's got major vibes of, those two guys carrying the pane of glass across the road.
Drop it in the fire.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get our actual last scene of a little bit of Sam and those other guys walking through the snow, and Sam's all like, you know what I like about Gilly? She said 6 words to me, and she has a very positive outlook despite everything that's happened to her.
I will say Sam looked like he was from the right series this time, and the difference seems so obvious now. His teeth looked horrible. In later seasons, it looks like he's brushed his teeth. There's crap all between them, and it looks authentic.
His contract got renewed, and he got that dental surgery.
Oh, so this was actually the actor's teeth.
I mean, prove me wrong.
Yeah. Ed and Greg, I think the other one was called.
I can't remember. Those guys.
Yeah.
Who are, in beginning of next season, we see her all like, Sam's like, you left me behind. It's like, dude, you fell down 10 seconds into running away.
So that was another question I had. What is the, what happens between this last scene and that scene of him crying and walking with them?
He catches up, I guess. This is a weird place to end it, because he cowers behind a rock, and you think, oh, really? No, none of the White Walkers are going to see him just there. But one of them stops and looks at him, and then just carries on. It's like, oh, you didn't think, oh, good, another corpse for our corpse army?
Yeah.
Could always use one more.
No, because, as the White Walkers have been shown to be very indiscriminate.
Yeah. Come to think of it, if they'd killed Sam, the rest of the series would have gone very, very differently, because he's the one who knows Dragonglass kills White Walkers, which mounts their main point of defense in the end, which is the main reason Jon eventually bent the knee to Dany anyway. Yeah. So, if they just off this one dude, you know what? Maybe they were just fat shaming. They're like, too fat to be a corpse, aren't you, fatty?
Well, I got major vibes from Dial Z for zombies on The Simpsons, where the zombies swarm home and it's like, brains.
Dun, dun, dun.
Brains.
Yeah, maybe. Once again, I think it's just the blessing of obesity in this one.
Yeah.
The fat people live for whatever reason.
There we go.
Even the zombies are like, nah. And that changed the entire tide of the war. So there you go.
Yeah, I will say, even though they kind of looked a bit rough around the edges in a CGI animated sense, they obviously, it's like one of the first times the show has shown them. But the moments where they chose to be more disgusting with their design, I thought worked better.
Yeah, a little bit more corpse-like here.
Yeah. Whereas the sort of icy White Walker sort of design I thought looked a little fake. Like the horse with its fucking throat hanging out, the dude with only half a mouth, and there was some really good gross costuming there.
Yeah, although from memory, I don't realize we knew this before. Later on when we see the Night King, I think that was meant to be a bigger deal because that was like the first time we've seen him. Up until this point, I think the main leader of White Walkers we've seen is that guy on the horse who's all like white and stringy. So that was a kind of thing we missed on the reverse, that was the big deal. That's the Night King. Because I remember that being a big accidental spoiler because one of the casting calls was Night King and like, oh shit, they've confirmed it. It's like, no, we didn't. That could be anyone. Shit.
It's just like when, you see a leak from Nintendo. Wanted, a game designer to work on Secret Zelda.
No, that's too obvious. Legend of Zed.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Does that put me out of notes? Let me have a quick flip through here.
Well, it was a wedding episode as well.
Oh, yeah, we get a wedding, and it goes fine.
Yeah.
There's a bit of Robb and Catelyn Stark talking back and forth before, which, hang on, let me just have a look at that.
Which I had as one of my other notes of bad acting, which is surprising because we recently talked about Catelyn Stark having a very good speech about Jon Snow not being her son. I just thought this was wall-to-wall shit.
Oh, really?
From both her and Rick, actually.
It wasn't amazing, but it was okay. I guess it wasn't... A lot of the good dialogue makes you feel like there are things happening outside this conversation, and this was all just dialogue for this scene, and that was about it, I guess. It just didn't feel as big for whatever reason. And she has a line something like, if you treat your oaths lightly, your people will do the same. It's valuable life lesson there. But this is the one wedding no one got murdered at. Sure, it led to more murders, but for the track record of weddings, this one's not doing too badly.
Yep, and they got their lines exactly right, on the same time as they rehearsed.
Yeah.
These guys are so ready for the regional fucking rap championships.
Regional rap, getting married in synchronized weddings.
Yes.
Whatever we want to, synchronized ceremonies.
There we go.
That's about as good as I got. But I think that puts me out of notes. How about you?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Right. Well, if that puts you out of notes and that puts me out of notes, we must ask our final and arguably most important question. How did we get here?
Well, the next episode is called Blackwater, and being that we saw, 20 guards from Blackwater still sticking around with Theon, it'd probably have something to do with that. However, I choose to believe it's got something to do with the 2001 album by Opeth, Blackwater Park.
It's a very good album. I think you're absolutely correct.
And that puts me out of notes.
All right, and the sun sets forever over Blackwater Park.
Right. I don't know the lyrics to that song.
That's like
even less so.
That's the last line of the album.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm not much of a lyrics guy, but even less when it comes to Opeth, because it's just
yeah, but half of it's divine singing. Yeah. Listen to Opeth; they're wonderful.
Except the song Blackwater Park. It always surprises me to think about that. There's no clean vocals in that song.
Yeah, sure. You know what? If you're new to Opeth, check out Benighted. It's a wonderful song. Very emotional for a death metal band.
Yeah, I reckon the starting point for people who aren't necessarily into metal, especially black metal, death metal, anything with Damnation is probably the best starting point, and then the song Benighted off my personal favorite album, Still Life, but I recognize that most people's in has been Blackwater Park, so that's probably where you go. Damnation, Blackwater Park, then probably Ghost Reveries.
Yeah, if you're feeling like thrashing pretty hard, Ghost Reveries.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. All right, until then.
Anyway.
Let's go listen to some
Opeth talk.
New segment? Who knows? I don't make the rules here. That's been Elliot Jay O'Neill.
Goodbye.
I've been BT Calloway, and for now, our watch is ended.